I really enjoy trifle, and for this recipe I'm going to show you how to make a mulled fruit trifle. It's a recipe that my mother would have shown me over the years. She was famous for her desserts and her sherry trifle. But we're going to poach some berries, and we're going to use some lovely Simply Better berries. But before I do that and talk to you about these beautiful Irish berries, we're going to make up the syrup. So to get the mulled effect, we're going to put in some port, and then we're going to put in some apple juice. So if you don't want to use the port, you can use some cranberry juice, or you can just use all apple juice. So this is from Wexford. It's a really, really natural and delicious apple juice. So it's award-winning, like so many of the Simply Better products. So we're going to put in some of that lovely apple juice in there. Okay. Now we're going to reduce this. We're going to put in some vanilla extract. So roughly about a teaspoonful of that. And then we're going to infuse this with some cinnamon. So this is some ground cinnamon. It's organic. It's produced from a company in Athlone called Oco. So their spices, you see me using lots of their spices in so many of my recipes. So this is some organic cinnamon. So roughly about half a teaspoonful goes in there. Now there's a few things you can do. You can put in some star anise. You can put in different spices like cinnamon stick, some vanilla if you want a fresh vanilla, whereas we're using the vanilla extract. We're going to bring this to the boil. And we're going to literally let this cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's all. Thicken it with some corn flour. So this is the corn flour here, spoonful of corn flour and a little bit of water. So you just mix that just together before. You don't want it too gloopy, but you want it slightly thickened. So with this recipe, you can have these fruits made 3 or 4 days ahead. So let's talk about the beautiful fruits. So these are the frozen Irish triple berries. So the blackcurrants are from Des Jeffers, and he's a wonderful blackcurrant grower. He's based in Wexford. And then we have Pat Clark. Pat Clark is based in Stamullen, his strawberries and his blackberries. So this is them here. You can just have a little look in there. Great if you're making pavlova, if you're making smoothies. You know, these berries are great. And when they're picked at the best, at the height of their season, when they're lovely and juicy and gorgeous and delicious. For me, these are two of the best fruit growers in the country. In the restaurant, we use Pat Clark's fruits. The strawberries are all stem picked, so they're actually hand picked, so they are. So these are frozen, so they're very, very natural. There's nothing added to them, and we're literally going to mull them and we're going to poach them in that. But we want them to keep their shape. We don't want them to go mushy. That's really, really important. So it's a lovely, lovely, delicious product. And this poaching berries is great even with pancakes. So while that's coming to the boil, I'm going to talk to you about the custard. So it's a very, very simple custard, so it is. And this is made from Spice of Life. They're an Irish company based in Dunmanway, and they really are excellent. This custard is delicious. So like when you read through the ingredients, you have milk, cream, sugar, you have free-range egg, Madagascar vanilla, and this is thickened with carrageen moss. So which thickens it, so it does. So it's a very natural, clean product. They're excellent company, and I've had the pleasure of going down to visit them and see the whole production. They're just wonderful. So this is the custard here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to jazz it up a little bit with some grated orange, and then some lovely white chocolate. And this is a wonderful lady, a fellow lady from Cavan, Anya. Anne Rudden, Anya's Chocolate, and she produces the chocolate for Simply Better. So I'm going to just literally grate some of this in. So I want to show you this. So there's a little bit of raspberry in this. So if you can see this here, I'll just break a little bit. I promise you I won't eat it, not until I finish the video. So there's little pieces of raspberry in that, and she's just a wonderful lady. She's about an hour from where we are here. The other end of the county, and she's very passionate, she's very consistent, very hardworking, but she's great product. So when you're grating chocolate, watch your fingers. I'm using just my grater, and we're going to grate this in here. So remember, there's vanilla already in the custard. Watch the fingers, that's really important. I'm not taking my eyes off it. And then we'll grate a little bit of orange zest in this too. So the white chocolate, because the custard is cold, it won't melt it. You'll get that little bit of texture from the white chocolate. So every so often, just throw your eyes over the fruits, or over the syrup for the fruit, should I say. And I'll just show you now what it's looking like. Okay, so it's beginning to reduce, which is perfect. Now you could cook this out, but what I like to do is I'll just show you. I won't even use all this corn flour. I'll probably use half it. So roughly about that, and we can always add more. And don't panic if you add too much corn flour and it's too gloopy, you add more apple juice. Excuse me, it's as simple as that. Now, get your lovely berries and then you just empty the full packet in. Just put them in like that, and we'll just get a spoon, we'll give them a little stir. We don't want them to go mushy, as I said, and you just let them sit. And then what I normally do is just switch it off now and let it cool down. I won't be using these because I have them already done. Remember, these will keep. So I'll just show you the consistency. They're keeping their shape. Really important, that syrup there. And what we did, we would have poached them yesterday, and now we're going to use them. So it's better to have them done ahead. This is what they look like. They've kept their shape, which is really important. So you have the lovely strawberries from Mulled, the blackberries, and then that Wexford Des Jeffers, his blackcurrants are wonderful. So we're just going to grate a little bit more chocolate in here. I suppose the beautiful thing about this dessert, it's that it's light and it's perfect, you know, any time of the year, but particularly at Christmas. Not everyone likes the Christmas pudding. The problem is I like them all. The Christmas pudding, this dessert, and my mother used to make chocolate baked Alaska. So she'd make a chocolate sponge, vanilla ice cream and meringue, and then after the Christmas dinner we'd pop it into the oven, and it was lovely. My twin brother loves it, so he does. So that's a little bit of chocolate, you can see that there, and I'm going to keep that because I'm going to finish with a little bit of chocolate at the end. We're going to grate some of the orange zest, so putting a little bit more pressure in this. And the orange is really nice in this. It's fresh, it's gorgeous. You could have put actually orange into that, or a little bit of lemon, so you can mix it up. And again, if you don't want to use the port, which I really like, and remember when you boil it, you're cooking out the alcohol, so that's important too. Okay, mix this through, and that lovely little scented orange. So good. Okay, so now we're going to do an individual one. So we'll do our cold poached fruits, then we'll do that. I have a little bit of Madeira cake. I just got that just in my local Dunn stores. You can make your own. But to be honest with you, sometimes life is too short, you know. You can use some shortbread if you want in this. You can use different cookies. So the first thing I'm going to do is put these lovely berries at the bottom of the dish. And I particularly picked this glass so you can see the lovely layers. Now normally when I do this, what I normally do is I make up this and I do a large trifle. So I'm just doing an individual one because I think there's something very elegant about that. So then the next thing is our little Madeira cake. So kind of see the way I'm kind of just breaking that up with my hands. So just literally pop that down there. So that's why if you can make this ahead, what happens is that the Madeira cake will absorb all this lovely syrup because there's so much flavor in the syrup. Now, watch me here. We're going to drizzle this all over. And then we're going to put our custard. So I'll just get another spoon. And then we're going to spoon on our custard. So we added in the orange zest. We added in a little bit of white chocolate. And it's the Carrageen moss that gives it that kind of, see that kind of texture, so it does. But it's lovely, smooth, velvety. It's a really good custard. And I don't know if you've tasted the Simply Better sticky toffee pudding. We love it in our house. So it's made from what's from pudding, and that served warm with this custard. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Okay, we're going to just finish it then with a little bit of whipped cream. So just literally just some whipped cream. I'm just going to spread this just over right to the edge. Just going right to the edge. It's very, very simple, very, very light. It's a nice generous portion. But you know what? It's a light dessert. And especially, you know, after your Christmas dinner, there's something really delicious about this. And you can make it ahead. So just going right to the edge. Just with the back of the spoon. We're nearly there. You could pipe it, but listen, it's only an extra job for you. You could actually put some vanilla and orange zest into the whipped cream. But what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to get my little piece of chocolate. So we don't waste anything. So we're going to grate some of the chocolate and then put some orange on it. And then some fruits. So a little bit of orange zest. Come on. Just knock the grater. Now, just a little bit, just to scent it, because one thing is about the orange, it can be a little bit overpowering, so you don't want it too strong and too overpowering. Now, I've just got some lovely fresh strawberries and raspberries. You can garnish it with the fruits. This is just to give it a lovely little bit of freshness in this. a little sprig of mint just goes in the center. And then what I like to do, I want to show you these are these lovely crunchy amaretti Italian biscuits. So they really are very, very nice, and they give great flavor. So literally what I'm going to do, I'm going to crunch this up, and I'm going to just sprinkle it over here. So you can hear that just crunching. So that's going to give you lovely texture. So remember, the key to this is that really good custard. With the fruits, you have them already poached, and they'll keep for a few days. They're all Irish grown fruits, which is fantastic, and they're picked at the height of their ripeness, which is really important. So there we go. And then we just serve that up. So that's an individual mulled fruit trifle. I love the way you can see the layers. You'll not be hungry after this. You can see the fruits, you can see that lovely custard. And remember, that's the lovely custard there. That's the vanilla Madagascar, beautiful vanilla. The poached berries, it can be done ahead, that really nice custard, and then just assembled at the last minute. But what I would normally do is have it all ready, like your fruits, your sponge, your custard in the fridge overnight, and then decorate it with cream, and just the way I've done it. So listen, enjoy this recipe, happy cooking, and if you're making this for Christmas, I hope you enjoy this with your family and friends.